for those around him. His power, once hidden and used for personal survival, now becomes a symbol of justice and integrity. This critical decision marks a turning point, not just in his journey, but in the world around him. The protagonist is no longer just a powerful individual. He is someone who understands the deeper meaning of strength. With this newfound purpose, his journey continues, but now with a clear and noble direction. The moment has arrived. The ultimate opponent, the one who has been lurking in the shadows all this time, finally steps into the arena. This is the true test, the final challenge that will force the protagonist to use every ounce of his hidden skill. The opponent is unlike any he has faced before, someone whose strength rivals his own, if not surpasses it. The tension is palpable as the air crackles with the anticipation of the battle to come. It's not just a fight for victory anymore, it's a battle for everything the protagonist has worked so hard to achieve. The stakes have never been higher. The protagonist has risen through countless challenges, each one pushing him further than before. But this time, everything is on the line. His past struggles, his hidden power, and his decisions have led him to this exact moment. It's no longer about proving he's strong enough. It's about proving that he can protect what matters, and that all his growth has been leading to this. The fate of everything he holds dear is now in the balance. The weight of it all presses down on him, but there's no turning back. The fight is inevitable, and he must give everything he's got. As the battle begins, the protagonist takes a deep breath, steadying himself. His mind is clear, focused only on the task ahead. The time for hesitation is over. He knows that this is the moment where everything he has learned will either pay off or fail him completely. He feels his hidden skills surge inside him, ready to be unleashed in full force. His past struggles, the mockery, the doubts, all of it has led him to this defining moment. This battle will not be just about strength, it will be a battle of wills. The protagonist is ready. His resolve is unshakable. The clash begins with a fierce exchange. The opponent's attacks are swift, relentless, testing the protagonist's defenses like never before. But the protagonist is no longer the same weak individual everyone once underestimated. With each move he proves just how far he has come. The strength he once kept hidden now flows freely, and with every strike, the opponent begins to realize the true depth of his power. The battle is intense and the protagonist's determination is unmatched. This fight will determine not just his future, but the future of everyone who has ever doubted him. As the battle intensifies, the protagonist takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of everything he has fought for in his heart. This is the moment he's been preparing for, the moment to show his true strength. Without hesitation, he unleashes his hidden skill in full force. The air around him crackles with raw energy as his power surges, an unstoppable force that no one, not even his formidable opponent, can anticipate. The skill, once kept in the shadows, is now on full display, and it's clear that what everyone thought they knew about him was only a fraction of his true potential. The opponent, despite their strength, struggles to keep up with the protagonist's newfound power. Every strike the protagonist is calculated, precise, and devastating. The opponent's attacks begin to falter, their confidence shaken by the overwhelming force that is now in play. There is no denying it now. The protagonist's skill is unbeatable. With each move, his power grows, and the realization sets in that no one can match him in this fight. His opponent is no longer the threat they once seemed. In this moment, it's clear that the protagonist is untouchable. The fight rages on, but it's becoming more and more evident that the final victory is within the protagonist's grasp. The intensity of the battle has reached its peak, and everything the protagonist has learned, every hardship he's endured, has led him to this final moment. His movements are fluid and confident, each one flowing seamlessly into the next as if he's in complete control. There's no hesitation, no doubt. His power is now on display for all to see, and there's no turning back. The audience can't help but watch in awe as the protagonist brings the fight to its inevitable conclusion. With one final surge of power, the protagonist strikes, and the battle comes to a decisive end. The opponent, once confident in their strength, collapses in defeat, completely overwhelmed by the protagonist's unmatched skill. It's clear to everyone now, there is no one who can stand against him. The protagonist has become a force to be reckoned with, and his victory marks the culmination of everything he's worked for. His power is undeniable, his growth complete, and the world now knows the true extent of his abilities. As the dust settles from the final battle, the protagonist stands amidst the silence, his breathing steady but heavy. Victory is his, but there's a moment of stillness where everything slows down. He looks around at the wreckage, the people, and the challenges he's faced. Everything he's been through, the ridicule, the doubts, the struggles, led to this point. It's hard to fully comprehend how far he's come. His skill, once a hidden power, has grown into something much greater than he ever imagined. Yet, there's something more to this victory, something deeper than just the physical strength he now wields. In the quiet aftermath, the protagonist reflects on what his skill truly represents. It was never just about the power to defeat others or to prove his worth. He realizes that his strength is more than just an ability. It's a responsibility. The hidden skill, which once seemed like a tool for personal survival, now feels like something much bigger. It's not only about using power to overcome obstacles, but about understanding the impact of that power. The realization hits him. The true strength of his skill lies in knowing when to use it and, more importantly, when not to. The protagonist stands tall, his hands clenched, but this time it's not out of rage or fear. It's a quiet understanding. He knows that power, no matter how great, should never be wielded carelessly. His journey has shown him that the greatest strength lies not in defeating others, but in controlling that power and using it for the greater good. The challenges he faced, the battles he fought, have taught him that true strength is a balance between power and wisdom, between courage and caution. He now understands that with great power comes great responsibility. It's a lesson he'll carry with him, one that will shape not only his future, but the world around him. As the final battle concludes, the protagonist stands victorious, but there's no celebration of glory or boasting. Instead, he's calm, collected, almost reflective. The weight of what he's just accomplished settles in, but rather than basking in pride, he feels a quiet sense of fulfillment. He's achieved everything he set out to do, not out of a desire for power, but because he was driven by a need to prove himself and to protect what he holds dear. The victory is sweet, but it's not about the recognition or the applause. It's about knowing that he has risen, not just for himself, but for those around him. The journey from the lowest rank to the peak of power is now complete. And as the protagonist looks back at the obstacles he's overcome, he sees how far he's come. He's no longer the weak, underestimated individual he once was. His skill, once hidden, now stands as a testament to his strength and perseverance. But what's more significant than his transformation is how he has changed on the inside. He's not the same person who once struggled with self-doubt and mockery. Through every hardship, he's evolved, not only in terms of strength, but in character. His rise to the top was never about crushing others, but about becoming the best version of himself. Even as he stands at the pinnacle of power, the protagonist remains grounded. He doesn't let the title or recognition change who he is. His journey has taught him the value of humility, and he refuses to let his newfound strength corrupt him. He remembers the lessons he learned along the way, about responsibility, about the importance of wisdom, and about using power for the right reasons. The transformation is complete, but the protagonist remains true to the principles that guided him from the start. He understands that true victory doesn't lie in the destination, but in how one chooses to walk the path. With his newfound strength, he's ready to face whatever comes next, but always with humility and a sense of purpose.